Welcome to Lecture 10 as we take a look at the Italian Renaissance. This is a short lecture. Palladio and Architecture. The quintessential Renaissance architect was Andrea Palladio. His most influential building, the Villa Rotonda, has been a model for architects in every century since it was built in the mid-1500s. It is the essence of calm and harmony, a study of the purest geometric forms. The building is perfectly symmetrical, with four identical facades designed like a Roman temple on each side. A circular hall topped by a dome is in the center of the building, making Palladio's design a circle within a square. Villa Rotonda. It's near Vicenza, Italy. This private retreat of a wealthy landowner rests on a hillside outside the city of Vicenza and provides four different views of the countryside from each of the entrances. Many classical-style statues on the pediments and stairways share the lovely views from which the occupants could choose from depending on the time of day, weather, or whim. Palladio was a scholar of ancient architecture, and like his predecessor Brunelleschi, made many trips to Rome to study the ruins there. His influential treatise, The Four Books of Architecture, was written to encourage the construction of buildings that would bring the world into an ideal state. With floor plans and drawings, the book systematically explained classical architecture. Palladio also included the designs for his buildings, therefore putting his own work on the same level as the greatest architecture of the past. His treatise became the primary source of information on the buildings of the Greeks and Romans and was widely circulated. The familiarity of the Palladian style of architecture testified to his treatise's acceptance as the authoritative guide to ideal architecture. Among many others, he would influence architects of the early American Republic like Thomas Jefferson. Unlike Raphael, who was only 37 when he died, Michelangelo had a long, full life. He lived until the age of 89. Despite his immense talent, Michelangelo ended his life as a frustrated and angry old man. Many of the projects he began, like the tomb of Pope Julius II, were left unfinished. By the 1530s, he could see the age of the High Renaissance was ending, never to return. In Florence, the Medicis, once his patrons, had become tyrants who were propped up by the Spanish king. All across Europe there was change. The Protestant Reformation had split Christianity. Michelangelo had deeply concerned about the fate of humanity. He felt the world had gone mad, and he worried about the fate of his own soul. Even though they share the same room and were done at the same artist, the Last Judgment is a very different mood from that of the Sistine ceiling. On a dark and turbulent judgment day, Christ has come, but his arm is lifted in damnation as if he is destroying the world. Mary, his mother, turns her head away. She cannot bear to see his judgment. The heavens are in chaos. Ideal beauty, perfection no longer have a place in Michelangelo's painting. At the end of his life, using ugliness and terror for their expressive power, the greatest artist of the High Renaissance moved beyond his ideals. Thank you. Take the quiz associated with this lecture.